It started for me with a pretty severe sore throat.
I started to feel symptomatic 5 days after traveling.
It's different than the bronchitis I've gotten before.
Everything had kind of settled in my lungs and I was just coughing a ton.
I had a headache, felt feverish.
It felt like I had a bowling ball on my chest. Nobody's willing to see me, and nobody has the test kit, and even CDC is refusing to test me.
I traced back, my wife, she works at Amazon. They had a confirmed case.
4 different planes in 4 different airports. So I don't know who sat next to me or who I was in contact with.
It's one person coming in from China, and we have it under control. It's going to be just fine. We're going down, not up. We're going very substantially down, not up. Anybody that needs a test gets a test. They're there. They have the tests, and the tests are beautiful.
We have a president saying anyone who wants a test can get a test, and I'm thinking that is so not true.
It was just interesting because there was this kind of gray area for a while of people who felt like they were really sick and should have been tested, just even as a rule out. And the state of Washington just did not have the capacity to do that because the government had not supported us at that point, essentially.
I got through to public health after about an hour, and they told me that I did not meet the criteria for being tested.
They said, there's no way to get tested. We don't have tests right now. There's nothing set up in Delaware.
I looked at the CDC website and it said, call your doctor if you have the symptoms. So I called the doctor's office and they told me to go to an urgent care facility. I called an urgent care facility and they said that there's nothing that they can do and they don't have the test. And they told me to go to the ER. And I called a hospital and they told me that they don't have the test either.
It just felt like I was getting the runaround. It was clearly obvious that they just are under capacity and they're not able to test.
I eventually just gave up because at that point the testing criteria was so strict. It was, did you travel to China or have you been in contact with someone knownly diagnosed with COVID? And I didn't meet any of that. As a nurse in an ER, it's pretty vital if I have an infectious disease that I know what it is, because I could be spreading it to people who are really vulnerable.
I actually work in a building that's a fairly public place. There's people of every generation coming in there. There's a private school there. There's a senior center.
Southwest Florida is full of elders, and there is a lot of snowbirds coming here, and they're all in their 70s and 80s, and I cannot get myself, I cannot convince my conscience to leave the house. Just thinking about that, hey, you went grocery shopping and now 5 people died. So I just self-quarantined myself and basically started working from home.
We stocked up on food items as much as possible. I bought a 25-pound bag of rice. We bought beans. We got ready basically just to hunker down for those 2 weeks. At this point, I'm telling people, if you have a decision to make, think about survival and make the decision based on survival for yourself, your family, and your community. We knew this was coming. The federal government is just completely bungling this, and our lives are at stake. I feel like they're just leaving us here to die in Seattle.
The most overwhelming feeling was you are on your own.
I'm just really concerned for those that this is going to affect the hardest, and I think we pretty much failed at early testing and early containment. We had more time than other governments.